three things that actually took my readings to the next level. What you might not know about me is I am an advanced certified psychic medium through LWISSD, and that is Lisa Williams International School Spiritual Development. So within that training, I was third party blind tested, and that means that we did readings for the general public. Now, doing these readings for the public, I was not able to ask yes or no questions or make statements to see if they understood the information. So when I was in the psychic part, I had to trust my instinct, I had to trust my spirit team along with their soul. And as I gave readings, I gave what I got from their soul. And then when it came to doing the mediumship part, is I connected up to their loved ones on the other side, and I had to trust who I got. So I had to give the relationship, I had to give information about that loved one, I had to give details, I had to unfold what the loved one on the other side was sharing, as well as give a message. And so I had to completely trust the whole process. And it was a 3-day intensive training after about 5 months of regular training. And so, because of that, and because I understand how to teach, because I have over 15 years experience in corporate where I would train co-workers. So I really understand how to take the big picture of something and then break it down into smaller pieces so that the steps are easy to take and it's easy to understand. And as I combined all of that together, it's what allowed me to begin teaching 4-week classes or working with students for 90 days, 6 months, or even mentoring business people for 1 year. So that's part of my like where I am right now. But here's what I want to share with you. I was not always in this place. So in 2016, when I would do readings, the information that would come through was really watered down. I had a really tough time as far as giving readings because I would start off doing an intuitive reading. So back then, I wouldn't even say the word psychic because I had this mental hang up about psychics being phony and fake, and I didn't want to be associated with that word. So back then, I was calling it intuitive. So someone would book an appointment with me. I would do an intuitive reading, and maybe about 3/4 of the way through, their grandmother would show up. And I never knew what to expect. It was like spirit had totally taken over the reading. The information that I gave was like really all over the place, and it's because I didn't have a structure. And because I wasn't really confident in my readings, that as people started asking for me to give them a reading, I would refer them to someone else that was either a psychic or a medium that I knew that was further than me on the road. Because they've been giving readings around a while, I wasn't confident enough. So I would a lot of times just pass them off to someone else. And that kind of, made me feel a little bit bad inside because I knew that spirit was calling me to do the readings, but I just wasn't feeling confident enough to actually go through with the readings. So the thing is, once I started to know a difference, I made a decision. So I decided, okay, that I can't do readings the way that I'm doing anymore, that me trying to learn through books or figure out, by occasionally watching people, that's not working, that I had to actually get serious and start doing some type of training. And then it was when I started training is when I started seeing a difference, because that's when the structure came in and that's when the consistency came in, and then I was able to start asking questions. So now within this, I'm going to tell you that, so the first thing that helped to improve my readings was making a decision. So I made a decision, okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to answer my soul's call, and I'm going to start delivering messages. The second thing where I started seeing improvement being consistent. So what I started doing was taking workshops. I started doing 4-week classes. I started mentoring. And as I started to do this and do it consistently, is when I also saw that my readings were starting to improve. Now, I didn't just practice when I was in a workshop or when I was in class. I also practice on my own time. And so I would a lot of time pull my friends together in order for me to practice with them. And it was the combination between the two of what I did in class and what I did outside of class is what really helped. And then when I got stuck, I was able to ask my teacher, okay, so this happened and it didn't quite make sense. What would you recommend or what do you suggest? So a lot of times it's also mental. Your mind will tell you that you can't do it. It will try to compare you with other people. It will say, look at that person, they're so much better than you. And sometimes your mind will also begin to hold you back because if you have something with being afraid of being seen or heard, your mind is going to also try to sabotage you so that you don't step up and that you don't practice or do any training. So I definitely saw consistency, and with the consistency, I did see that the readings did improve. Now, here's the third thing, and this one might make you cringe a little bit. So, the third thing that bumped my readings up to the next level was getting out of my comfort zone. And at this point, where I had to start getting more comfortable with discomfort. And even now, I am still uncomfortable when I train with my mentor because what she does is she sees within me the potential that I can't see yet. And so she's calling that version of me forward. And as she calls that forward and she like challenges me, it makes me really uncomfortable. So there are times where I do not want to go to class because I don't want to go through it. But you know, especially on the days where I don't want to go to class is when I do go. And the really awesome thing about it is, you know, as she like pushes and she stretches me and she helps me to get to that next level, I can actually see results. So what I want to share with you is practice is key, and this is not the time to look for perfection because there's no such thing as perfection. When I'm in practice, this is when I let my guard down. This is when I have the opportunities to go for it. I understand wanting to have the yes because we were trained as little ones that, you know, as long as you do everything right, you get that gold star. You know, maybe if you miss a few little things, that gold star turns into a blue star. I know it's all about competition, and it's about rewards, and it's about getting those trophies and getting A's because, again, you get rewarded. But the reward is actually in when you can help someone. So, you know, today earlier I had a client that where she was just really struggling. She was struggling around her relationship. She was struggling around what she was going to do as far as her business and friends. And sometimes we just need to be there as that sounding board for them in order to show them different options, because sometimes their soul has information for them that they've been ignoring. And so it was my opportunity to give her soul that voice and reflect back to her in order to help her out with some of the confusion. Now, there were some things that she knew about that she could confirm, but then there were also some things that she hadn't considered and that she was taking notes on, and it's because her soul was coming through with that information. So when we can put spirit first and the work first, and we don't make it about us and we actually make it about spirit, then that's when you start to get a little bit more comfortable with the discomfort, because you realize that it's not about you, that it's not about you being perfect. It's about you being there for the sitter. Like, what can you share with them in order to get them to see a clearer view or a clearer picture so that they can make a decision? Maybe they're stuck in their life and they just need those words of encouragement from you to help them move forward. And in the case of mediumship, sometimes with the sitters here, they feel guilt for being here while their loved ones are on the other side. And so sometimes a loved one from the other side will come through just to let the sitter know, their family member know, that it's okay, that You're still supposed to be on earth, that there's more for you to do, that you need to get moving and get going and not, not remain stuck. And so this is why they will tend to book appointments with us in order to help them move forward. So, if you're finding yourself getting some information, but it's not coming in consistently, maybe you're feeling a little insecure, like I did at one point, where you're getting a lot of information coming in and you're not sure if you're getting psychic or mediumship. So, one of the things that I know about me and my purpose is to help you answer your soul's call so that you can do the work that you were born to do. So I do this in a few ways: by teaching classes. I also do this by giving readings, and then I also do this by business mentoring. I want to help you with any mindset, any doubts that you have, anything that's coming up that's causing you to put it on the back burner. Your mind might be coming through right now saying, I can do this myself. I don't need anyone else. And I'm going to let you know, prior to 2016, that was my conversation too. I would say that I'm going to do my own readings and that I'm going to take care of it. But then life would get in the way. And before I knew it, work got in the way, family, friends. And then by the time I had some time for myself, I had completely put my readings and my training on the back burner. And then 9 months to a year later, I was in the same situation with no change at all. So, if you're tired of just getting little bits of information and you notice it been constantly like this for years, I would like to also help you to level up. So I just wanted to stop by just to make this quick video, just so that you can know a little bit more about me and my journey and why I'm so passionate about teaching. All right, so if you have any questions, just be sure to list it below, and I'll be checking it out to answer your questions. So thanks so much for watching the video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Take care and have a great day.